Hi, my name is Jenny Williams, and I'm the Program Coordinator for the University Center for the Advancement of Teaching, or UCAT for short. Welcome to part 1 of our tutorial that will walk you through the process of filling out a roster so that we can invite the new TAs from your department to attend our annual teaching orientation. Our roster is an Excel spreadsheet. You can download a copy of the roster at the Carmen course shell under Content. To start off with, please indicate your department name and the name of the person filling out the roster that I could contact if I had any questions about the information you provide. We're going to say this roster is coming from history and the contact person is Sam Smith. 1. Each TA that you'd like us to invite to orientation should get his or her own line with contact and demographic information as well as schedule recommendations. We're going to be filling out a sample line for a fictional TA named Jane Doe. Let's start out by typing her first and last name. Please do pay attention to capitalization and spelling because we import the names directly into our database as you type them. Next, there's a space for her name.number. And then there's a space for her current email address, one that she's been checking regularly. She may be using her OSU email address already, but if there's an alternate email address that you feel more confident she'll be checking over the summer, it would be great if you'd provide that for us because we do all of our communication about orientation via email. It may be, for example, a Gmail address. The next column asks you to indicate whether Jane is an international TA or not. This helps us to keep updated demographic information about our participants in the orientation, but your answer will also affect which sessions Jane will be eligible to attend on the third day of orientation. We offer 2 workshops on the third day that are only for international TAs. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'll say that Jane is an international TA. The next column asks you to indicate which term Jane will begin teaching. We've listed out in the drop-down menu the terms for the next 2 years. There's also an option called Already Teaching. So if Jane is already teaching in your department, but she's changing assignments, such as from leading a discussion section to teaching an independent course, or if she's never attended orientation before, you can choose Already Teaching. You may also choose Not Decided if you're not sure when Jane's going to begin teaching. We do want to note that we've found that the further away a TA's start date is, the less relevant the orientation may seem to them. So you may want to consider postponing orientation for those TAs who will be starting next autumn or later. Finally, we ask you to indicate the TA's teaching context. Independent means that the TA will be the instructor of record for that course. Recitation means that she will be leading a discussion section for a larger course. Lab means that she'll be teaching a lab. Lab recitation means that she'll be teaching a lab, but she will also have recitation responsibilities. Studio means that she'll be teaching students particular skills and giving them the opportunity to practice in the studio setting. Usually, participants come to this context from the arts, architecture, or engineering. Grader means that she'll be grading for another instructor and perhaps holding office hours. And there's also an option for those TAs who will be teaching in the clinical setting. The teaching context that you choose here will also affect the options available to each TA for the sessions for orientation. If you know that one particular column is going to be the same for all of the TAs on your roster, for example, perhaps you have all TAs who are teaching independently, you may use the drag and drop function. But please do be careful and make sure that the option that you're dragging and dropping does indeed apply to every TA on your roster. This concludes part 1 of our tutorial on filling out the roster for the teaching orientation. If you're interested, you can join us for part 2, which will explain how to choose which sessions to recommend for each TA. Thank you for your time.